Good afternoon, ladies. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity, Rala. Thank you. Um, I've had a very good time listening to Majestic, Ruby, and Mrs. Taze, Mrs. Buma, awesome time. So I also trust to have a good time as I take us through how to grow a healthy hair. So I have a slide here I would like to share. I don't know, can we see the slide?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay, so I was asked to talk on how to grow your natural hair and ways to improve the health of your hair. And so I'll just do that. I know this document is a lot. Like we can't talk about everything in 15 minutes. But I can send to anyone who is interested. So you can just drop your email and then I forward this slideshow to you. Yeah, so I'll just start. So my goal basically is to take you on a healthy hair journey so you can love your hair again. Yeah. Like I always say in my Facebook sessions, that's the basic, like that's the aim, to help you go through your hair issues and skincare issues the healthy way. Yeah, because I find that these topics are really dear to a lot of people, especially ladies. And we tend to be agitated when we come in contact with any challenge as regards skin, hair, and that's why you find that a lot of us buy so many products just because we're trying to, achieve a particular goal, right? So this is just to help us understand one or two things so we can be calm and make better decisions when we're going for products, and also our care system, right? Like the way we care for our hair. So I'll start off by talking about hair types. We have four main types of hair. We have type 1, 2, 3, 4. But basically for Black people, our hair falls within the A. We have 4A, we have 4B, we have 4C. And also 3C hair, because those ones are also kind of coily, like they also, but they're not as kinky as we have in the group 4. So I wrote here that what actually matters is not the type of hair. What matters is how to handle your type of hair. So you basically knowing your type of hair and then doing the things that would help to promote your hair growing well and healthy. So that's the main thing. And the reason we have so many issues with carrying natural hair is because they are very kinky, they are very coily, and then they are prone to breakage. So you find a lot of people asking why their hair is breaking. You find a lot of people asking while they are losing their hair or their hair is tangling. That's just because the group where our hair falls into is very coily, curly, and kinky. So when I say coily, I mean Coily, and then curly, Curly, and then kinky. So we have the 4C type of hair being the kinky one that's really prone to tangling and breakage. And like I got a question today just before the show. One of our friends here sent me a voice note, and what she wanted to know was if probably you have a how will I put it now? Let me say use the word scanty, but technically I would say a low density hair, right? Is there anything you can do to improve your hair, because you find a lot of products are selling. Once you put hair growth, everybody rushes for it, and sometimes people get disappointed if the hair doesn't now grow the way they actually expected it to grow. So my answer to that is just the way Mrs. Bowman mentioned, that we are actually born with a kind of skin, right? And there's really nothing um, you should be kind of comfortable with the kind of skin you have, and then learn to promote it, to be healthy and care for it the right way. Okay, so that's the same thing with hair. We are born with a particular kind of hair. We have unique hair strands, we have unique hair density. So what you should do is to promote your kind of hair, to promote the health of the kind of hair you have. Now, you may be able to achieve your hair looking fuller with some products, but those products will be rinsed off, and then you'll be back to your normal kind of hair. Okay, so, and you may also be able to achieve some kind of fuller look with the kind of hairstyle you're carrying at a particular time. But your hair follicles, Madam Mrs. Boma also talked about follicles, right? So your hair follicles are there. I know there's a saying we say, like, God knows the number of hair on our head. Yeah, so with every scalp has its own number of follicles that comes with it. So what you should do is to love your hair and then find ways to improve the health. Make sure you're keeping a healthy lifestyle that would promote your hair growth, your hair care, and avoid hair loss. And that's alopecia. And from my research, I actually found that hair loss is a problem that generates from the inside. We can't overflood eating right. Okay, Majestic Ruby talked about it, Mrs. Boma talked about it, and I'm also talking about it again. You know, what you eat is very, very important. So from my research, I found that the reason why people have a lot of hair loss issues is because of what they eat. What they eat as regards not taking enough minerals. Okay, so the magnesium, the copper, the zinc, all these minerals are very, very important in our diet. So you need to make sure you're eating well. And if you're not eating enough, right, if probably you're not eating enough of all these minerals in your food, then that now opens the place for supplements. So that's why people recommend taking supplements too, because you may not eat enough of those minerals in your food, and then you can take them in supplements, using them the way they are recommended, not overdoing it, and then you'll be able to balance up for that. So your vitamins, your minerals, they are very, very important to having very good, healthy hair. So like I said, love your hair, love the kind of hair you have, and just engage in activities that would cause that hair to thrive, right? Just engage in habits, routines, lifestyle that would promote the thriving of that kind of hair that you have. So back to my slides. I said there's hair don't grow forever. Like, your hair don't keep growing. There's a growth cycle to our hair, and our hair actually doesn't grow more than 0.5 inch. So yes, you may see other people in other parts of the world having very, very long hair and all. It's because of their genetics. It's because of the kind of system they have. We found that even Caucasians have more highly dense hair. Like, their hair have more density than those of us in Africa. So our hair doesn't grow forever. There's a cycle, and there's an inch, there's a way it grows. So we just need to live with that, okay? So one of the main issues is detangling. And this is very crucial for natural hair management. People with relaxed hair may not really have so much issues with detangling, but people with natural hair, it can actually be very, very overwhelming. So I'm going to be talking about that now. The first tip I'll share for detangling is to always detangle your hair when it's moist. Very dry and very wet hair is more likely to break. So when you're losing your hair, before you start losing, try to moisten your hair with either a water-based hair mist, or you can even use water. I prefer to use water when I'm going before I wash, because it just helps me to save my mist. Yeah, I can use the water, and since I'm even going to wash it off, so it's okay to moisten your hair with some water, not to make it too soaked in water, but just moisten it before you start to detangle your hair. And that process is called plasticizing. So that's the process where you detangle, you soften your hair first a bit before you now start to detangle, and then before you wash. So you need to always make sure you detangle your hair properly before washing, right? Um, Sorry, this is lucky. Okay, so you need to detangle your hair properly before you start washing. And the benefits of detangling is that your hair is less likely to break when you're washing and conditioning, and it will also be less likely to break when styling and handling. Like you want to do different styles, and then if it's not properly detangled, you find that you keep cutting the hair abruptly, and you keep putting a lot of force on hair. So the first thing is to be patient, detangle your hair properly, and then you can go on to shampoo and continue in the other process. So I'm going to the next slide now. So I wrote here as the fifth tip that shampooing your hair once a week is adequate. Like we find that many people like to shampoo their hair oftentimes, especially people who exercise a lot and sweat a lot. So you shouldn't really shampoo your hair more than once a week. You can co-wash, and that's the tip 7. Okay, so using a rinse out conditioner to wash your hair would be more appropriate, because shampoos come with cleaning agents that would probably wash off all the natural oils and moisture in your hair, and you don't want that. So it's better to wash with shampoo once in a week, and then every other time you feel you need to wash your hair, do that with a rinse out conditioner. You find that rinse out conditioners are not so foamy. They don't come really, really foamy, because for that foaming aspect of your soap is what actually shows that your soap is good, right? Is what actually cleanses the skin. So, and you don't want to overdo it. So washing with a rinse out conditioner would suffice if you need to wash more than one time in the week. And then here I said longer hair gets the less often you should, okay, the longer your hair gets, the less often you should be washing it. Yeah, so short hair is easy to wash and comb, but for long hair, it gets tangled a lot. It gets prone to tangling, and in the process of detangling, you could actually begin to cause breakage for the hair. So you really don't need to wash your hair every time. You really don't need to wash your hair every time. And so I'll be moving to our next tip, which says to avoid chemicals. Yeah, so this like a list of chemicals to avoid if you really want to go natural. And then it's up to you if you want to use naturally derived products or you want to use synthetically derived products. Is really up to you. But if you choose to go the natural way, you look out for ingredients like gluten, look out for parabens, the PABA, petrolatum, paraffin, propylene glycol. So you just basically look out for these ingredients if you want to stay natural. I know some hair brands even use some of these ingredients in their products and they are natural. And that's what now brings me to the degree of naturalness. That's something that we talk about in the natural sector. Like, what's the degree of naturalness you're trying to achieve? So that you see petrolatum in a natural product does not mean the product is actually not natural. We have what is called usage rates. So you'll find that some brands may choose to add a little petrolatum to their product just to give it some stability. But then that ingredient may not be more than 1% or 2%. Like I found a Cantu product that has petrolatum in it, but in looking at the ingredient list, you find that that ingredient is actually towards the end. And as a formulator, that tells me that that ingredient was not used in a high percentage at all. And you find that that product still works very well for people's hair and is still natural. So the degree of naturalness is up to you. If you want to go completely natural, like you don't want anything synthetic, or you can still do with using some of those ingredients in low percentages. So, but these are some of the ingredients you should look out for if you don't want to use anything synthetic at all. Okay, so for me, in taking care of your natural hair, moisturizing your hair with water and water-based ingredients is one key you must you must adhere to, right? Because natural hair is water loving. Our hair is water loving, and it thrives when it is hydrated. So you need to make sure your hair is hydrated by using water-based products and also taking a lot of water. Like, we know there's a recommended amount of water that we should be taking daily. Yeah, so you can even stick with that if that's the minimum you can do. We find that it's quite difficult for many people to drink water. So you really need to up your water game. It helps your skin, helps your hair, helps your nails. It's really, really good if you want to have a healthy hair. So spraying your hair with a mist regularly cannot replace your weekly washing. So that you washed your hair once in a week does not take the place of misting your hair regularly. So like you can see in the picture, is basically taking a bottle with spray and moistening your hair. So your hair is not really going to be damped in water. It's just about moistening it, getting to the scalp and just moistening your hair. It really, really helps your hair to thrive. And also deep conditioning your hair at least once in a month. It helps too. So we have different deep conditioners. Some are protein treatments, some help with moisture. So you make sure you deep condition your hair at least once in a month just to get that moisturization going on. So one thing you should go away with today is that your hair is water loving and you should always moisturize your hair and your scalp. Please, are we enjoying it? Am I communicating? Yeah, I just...
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So I also put in
just 2 minutes more, please.
Okay. So I put in this slide, what is a deep conditioner? Yeah, so we have different conditioners. We have rinse out conditioner, deep conditioners, and also if you see a product that says it's suitable for daily use, you know that's like a leave-in conditioner. So a leave-in conditioner is that conditioner you can use every day, and then it would not, it's usually light, so it won't clog your pores if you also stick with the regimen of washing your hair once a week and all that. And in this slide, I'm talking about use shampoo and conditioner within the same product line. Yeah, it's usually good to use your hair products within the same product line because of the pH. Our hair is at a particular pH. I won't be able to go too deeply into that. And our shampoos most of the time come at high pH, like more alkaline. And then after you wash, you usually need a conditioner with a lower pH to help the cuticles close properly. So if you don't take note of the pH of your product, you may actually cause your hair to become alkaline. And it is when that your scalp become alkaline, we begin to have issues like dandruff, begin to have all manner of issues on the scalp. So you want to keep your hair within that range of being slightly acidic, and then making sure that your final product, your leave-on conditioner, your rinse-out conditioner, are able to balance the acid mantle of your scalp. So that's why you find a lot of people selling hair products in kits, just because whoever formulated those brands would have put in consideration the pH of those products. So it will not be nice if you use a particular brand shampoo that it's at a pH of 5, and then you now use another brand's conditioner that is probably at a pH of 5 too. You will find that the sealing of the cuticle will not happen correctly, and then we could start having, that could trigger some issues that we want to deal with. So if you feel you love a brand shampoo and love another brand's conditioner, you can get yourself a pH strip and just do like a pH test to know what pH they are in and know if you should actually use that combination. So we have a lot of talk around stimulating hair growth. Yeah, we have essential oils that are used in products. I listed them here. You can just send me your email. I'll forward the slide to you if you're interested. Another thing that that doesn't promote natural hair thriving is heat. Like, so if it's advised to really use heat with caution if you're trying to maintain natural hair. If possible, stay off dryers and straighteners. And if you need to, maybe once in a while, but don't make it a habit. Yeah, so I have some safety tips here. And then we already talked about nutrition a lot, so I probably shouldn't dive into that. Okay, so yeah, but things you can look out for that have these minerals I mentioned earlier is avocado, blackberries, sweet potatoes, cashew nuts. They come with high levels of minerals that you can inculcate into your diet. Yeah, so in this slide, I talked about combing and handling your hair. And then here, it's required to just use combs that are, first of all, you could finger detangle your hair. I like to do that a lot. Just use your finger to detangle your hair, and then use large tooth comb to detangle your hair. Okay, and do it with a lot of love and care for your scalp. Don't be too harsh on it. It's the issue I have with some salons. Okay, they're always in a hurry to jump to the next customer. So make sure whoever is handling your hair takes all the time to do it mildly. Yeah, so it doesn't cause damage to the hair. And also, when you're sleeping, when you're going to bed, it's always nice to use a satin cap. So that's why we have a lot of hair bonnets trending now. If you don't have a hair bonnet, you can use a pillow with a satin pillowcase. It just helps your hair to glide. Cotton actually pulls out a lot of moisture from your hair, and you don't want that. Okay, and also it could also make your hair to be matted, like your hair will just, like if I go to bed with my hair like this now, it's going to be all matted and tangled in the morning. So it's usually advised before you go to bed, do like a twist out. You could just divide your hair into 4 places, twist it out, and then wear your satin cap. It really helps in protecting your hair. So I already talked about matting your hair here. And so like hairstyles, wear protective hairstyles to prevent breakage. Try to avoid very thin or very heavy braids. Yeah, so, and also maintain your braids for hair growth. So like when your hair is even made, you should still moisten your hair with a hair mist, still moisten your scalp, and still take care of your scalp even when your hair is made. Like before now, once I make my braids, I just leave it till the next 4 weeks, but now I've learned to pay attention to my hair even when it's made. And another thing that causes breakage of hair is the weather. So harsh conditions are not good for our hair, whether it's really cold or really hot, or extreme conditions basically are not good for our hair. So if the weather is too cold, make sure you have a scarf and try to just cover and protect your hair. And in this slide, I'm talking about frizz control. This is one issue that a lot of people in natural hair also have. Like when you finish washing your hair, you just find the hair is so tacky, and it's that elasticity is not there. Okay, so what you can do to help with that is to always do your final rinse with cold water. This also applies to the face. It works great, yeah, for people that deal with acne. Yeah, so always do your last rinse with cold water. Use a microfiber towel, and when you're toweling your hair, don't rub it in. Just use it to cover it. Let the towel soak in the moisture in the air and take it off. Right? Don't try to really rub it in. Okay. Um, so another tip is trimming. Yeah, trimming your hair is really good. It helps us to take off the weak ends and just allows the hair to thrive. And another thing is always take care of the ends of your hair, like the outer part of our hair strand needs a lot more care, because they are weak. They are the ones facing the harsh conditions. So always make sure that when you're using your mist, you use it properly. Don't just focus on the roots. And then another thing is, when we're taking care of our natural hair, we need to know that the new hair, when you're talking about healthy, is the new hair that comes up again that is actually benefiting from that healthy attitude, that healthy lifestyle. So like if my hair is bad now, I don't expect the hair on my head already to just begin to change. It's basically the ones growing out again that would really benefit from that healthy regime and all that we're doing. So let's put that in mind. And I came up with a weekly wash routine in this slide. So detangle your damp hair. You can finger detangle your damp hair. Use your shampoo, deep condition, and detangle again with a comb after you've conditioned. Use a rinse out conditioner, moisturize your hair, and then plait it if you're not styling at the moment. Okay, so yeah, so that's basically, and I put some tips for relaxed hair too. Like if you're going to be using a relaxer, always use apply oil or a petroleum jelly at the base of your scalp. So this will reduce the effect of the relaxer on your scalp. And then if you ever feel a tingling or burning sensation when you're relaxing your hair, it means you have waited too long. There's a recommendation for time that we find it behind the products we buy, but sometimes we feel it's not enough, right? But it's just enough to relax your hair, to make it softer and manageable. That's the whole idea. I remember when I was relaxing my hair, my scalp got burnt many times just because I felt it wasn't hurting me yet, and I didn't know I was engaging in a bad culture. So make sure you stick with the time. For fine and thin hair, you find that 13 minutes to be enough. For normal hair or slightly damaged hair, you find that 15 to 18 minutes is enough. And for coarse and resistant hair, you find that 20 minutes is just enough to have your relaxer on. And then I would also advise to use neutralizers. Use shampoos that have color indicators that show you exactly when the shampoo is off your scalp. And then use conditioners also after washing your hair. So every kind of hair needs very good conditioners and management. Okay, so yeah, our time is up. These are some of our products at Forever Yourself. You can call me to order. Apart from those brands, I also make bespoke formulation. So just to target at exactly what the issue is, we can come up with products for that. And then if you want to learn how to make your own skin and hair care products, please just sign up for this. We have a wait list at the moment to be launching soon, and then you get a discount for joining our wait list. Thank you so much, ladies.